got it. We're good to go. Welcome in, everybody. No welcome screen this time. I'm just jumping right in. If you can hear the sound of music upstairs, I'm sorry. My bad. That's just got a roommate doing some massive overhaul cleaning up there that really needs done. So I'm going to let them go and do their thing. And before we really open any readings, I do have a message for collective, just any collective with this found or who you think this might need to hear. Some song lyrics that have come through at work and it's been on my head back and forth, so I got to sing it for you a little bit. I'm just going to do the chorus. Hopefully, Maynard doesn't sue me. And hopefully I don't get a strike. I don't think you get a strike for this, but we're going to do it anyway. Never done this on camera before, so here we go. And now I forgot the words. Hang on a second. I got to remember. The music is throwing me off. I code script. Okay, that's neat. Sorry, I'm seeing things that are distracting me. All right, let's do this. Let's do this. We got to do this. Here we go. Any collective who needs to hear this is wondering why they're getting into this thing. Time to put the silicon obsession down. Take a look around. Find a way in the silence. Lie supine away with your back to the ground. Dis and reconnect to the resonance now. You were never an island. You need a voice among the many in this choir. Tuning into each other lifts all higher. There we go. That was the chorus for the song Disillusioned by A Perfect Circle. In my opinion, Eat the Elephant is the best album they did. I thought it was a perfect swan song for them. And we're just going to leave it at that. Hopefully, that doesn't get us a strike. If it does, it was worth it. Because that was my first time trying channeling, and I think it worked. Anyway, let's see. What do we want to do? Do we want to pick a deck, or do we just want to use Halloween deck, or get a little chit chat going to start the vibe? This is a live stream and a vlog type style of doing this, so it's not just open reading videos. I'm not editing or cutting my stuff yet because that's kind of daunting task for me. And I'm leaving these vlogs raw. My mystical vlogs will be raw, at least in this stage, so we can all look back and remember just how loosey goosey I was with it. Cheers, fam. We're gonna do a little bit of a drinky poo. Just a little drinky poo. Don't mind. Something you're not gonna see normal people do if you do a personal reading with me, unless requested upon um, the original setup. I won't be doing that. By the way, this is just me chilling. But if I'm doing a personal reading for you, which I do offer, I got my email link. I don't have a domain set for it yet, but if you would like a personal reading with me, I can set something up with you. We could talk about the rates that I'm going with, all that fun jazz. And I won't be doing any of the getting inebriated and stuff like that. That's only for the stream because this is just me relaxing after a day of my 9 to 5. And unless, like, depending on the discussion, because I want to have a discussion with you through email correspondence or whatever works for you. If you decide to, I want to have a little discussion before we have the session, so we know what we're getting into, what you expect, and so I know how to present myself because I do this in a various different styles. Um, I'm not your typical mystic. I don't fully believe in having to be 100% clean of all sin or anything like that. I'm not. I don't consider myself religious. I consider myself spiritual. I take advice from all religions. I have spirit guides that come from all religions. So, guides, what do we have for Halloween collective? Open collective message. Let's just start. Let's just get at it. No, I don't know. Guys are telling me we should tell a little story first. Let's see. Let's tell you a little bit about myself and why I got into this. I mean, I've always been into the paranormal and magic and stuff, but I never like took it seriously, except for like maybe one time in high school when we used to, I was a goth kid, would hang out in the graveyards and we'd do seances every Friday, and then we'd go get drunk. what kids do. Um, I guess it just kind of like from there, it just kind of petered out into like I could tell you throughout like my life experiences, like how it's shaped my magical journey. But I don't want to put all that out there in my vlog because I'm saving some of that for a book I'm working on. But I do want to say like I my soul has chosen what they call I guess the path of Saturn. It's pretty rough. I'm starting to realize this through past life experiences and stuff that I've been doing. Um, and I'm here to help find people who feel like they can't reach this kind of understanding about the universe because of what have you, life experiences, things you've done, choices you've made. You the people who walked under the path of the darkness. Um, I walk with the light, but I also walk with the darkness myself, and vice versa, because you can't have both without the other. Darkness is, born from light, and light is born from darkness. Light casts a shadow, and from that shadow, you must be able to see, so you have to light your way. I could maybe say that in a more profound way, maybe later. That just came out. Spirit's kind of talking through me right now a little bit. Just give a little brief rundown of what it is I'm doing, and of course, these vlogs are going to be open readings or open zodiac readings, and they're going to be timeless. So if they find you for any reason, or you click on it for any reason, or it's sent to you for any reason, there's probably something in there you might need to hear. If it doesn't resonate with you at all, at least please give it a like, share, pass it on, whatever. Or you can leave me a hate comment if you want. That still fucking gives me fucking. I'll take the hate comments too. That gives me fucking analytics that are good. So, as they say, bad publicity is still good publicity. Um, so again, I'll just repeat the final. If this resonates, take whatever does resonate with you and discard the rest and put it in the junk bin and tell the trash guy to come take that shit to its fucking final resting place. Well, final resting place in this realm anyway. But those are for later discussions. Right now, we're going to do a timeless open reading to the collective. So I'm just going to do some shuffling, and while I shuffle, I'm just going to say, again, feel free to like, share, subscribe. I am trying to turn this into my day-to-day thing. Well, I wouldn't say trying. This is something I'm manifesting, but this is an early stage of my manifestation, and I want to show off like my progress as we go. So I don't know how quickly it's gonna move. I've been going through some heavy shit lately, but again, just to give you a little bit of insight, just so you all know, you will see it on my hands here in a few weeks. I'm gonna get them tattooed, but so I will let everybody know right off the bat. I'm Sagittarius, main sign, fire sign. I won't tell you my other stuff, not unless we work together directly or you become a bigger member in chat or follower. But also, I also recognize and identify with the fallen 13th house. That's not officially the zodiac on the zodiac. Ophiuchus. So I'm a Sagittarius Ophiuchus. That's the amount of astrological information I will give the open collective about me right now. If you want to learn more about me without me telling you, I suggest you find me in the ether. Yes, I talk funny. Yes, I do. I'm a little over enthusiastic about this shit because part of me always knew it was real. That's why I've never given up on it. Always been interested in it. Read Necronomicon, Cthulhu, stuff like that. Read the Bible. I need to reread the Bible. It's hard to read because it's full of a lot of bullshit. Got some books on Kabbalah. Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn. I've read the Book of Law. I've read the Emerald Tablets. I've read the Arsene Golem. I want to get the rest of his books. His stuff is pretty good. I need to get some more Dorian stuff too. He's really good too. I've read. I don't think I've read all of them. I think I stopped at like the last two because I was like, it was an audiobook at my work, so I was like running out of time. I need to read the last two, but I've read at least like the first like 10 tablets for sure. The guy who does the audiobook, also look him up. Really recommend it. I need to look him up, give the recommendation because he does a very good reading. It's not an AI voice. I did the Book of the Law on audiobook, and it was like an AI voice, and it just sounded dull and bored. And Would you have a dull sounding reader reading Aleister Crowley to you? It's really hard to fucking get the messages out. Like you can, I still like it because Crowley's writing is great, and I love the way that him and Thoth work together to make this deck. But we're not using that deck today. We might. I don't know. I have it out. You can't see my whole table because I don't have my camera set up and table set up the way I really want yet. I do want to show you this though too. A little harness the energy for my amethyst pyramid with Metatron here. So we got a good shuffle going and a good little bullshit going because I'm gonna bullshit with you. I'm gonna chit chat a lot. I'm not gonna be all slow and positive like everybody else that does this on YouTube. And no offense to them, that's their thing. This is my thing. I never thought it would be doing the cards and stuff like this. I mean, I've had this stealth deck for years and never I only used it maybe once. Never really took it seriously. And then I decided to do ghost hunting, met somebody, and things happened. Preview for that too. Hopefully, the next location I have planned will turn out because the last two we haven't really gotten enough good footage or had enough time, or a lot of things have happened where we couldn't really get anything that I could edit together to something I want to put onto its own ghost hunting channel. But this next one, if it works, I think people are gonna dig it. I'm not gonna tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna tell you it's probably gonna rub a lot of viewers the wrong way too, especially if you don't like Ouija boards. That's all I'm gonna say on that. But speaking of Ouija boards, if you're that afraid, then this channel probably won't even find you because when you tap into prayer, when you tap into these cards, when you do any of that kind of stuff, you are opening the same gates. Ouija boards is a little different because you're opening a big gate and it's like easily seen by a lot of things. These are a little bit safer. I am starting to learn how these can be dangerous if you don't know what you're doing too. That's not saying that it's magic or anything. It is, but the cards are starting to speak. Sorry, Spirit, giving away too many secrets. I will say, at the end of the day, this is just cardstock and ink, and these are just images based on humans' overall life experience and understanding of the universe since at least medieval times, and theories and religions, just to give you insight about yourself. This is, I consider tarot more of a psychological tool. On a practical level, it is a spiritual tool, but for what we're doing on these open readings, we're just trying to reach anybody, especially collective out there who are maybe inkling about this but not quite sure, or they're like me, you always thought it might be real. There's always a part of you that could never deny it, but you always was like, it's not backed up by science. No, this shit is science. And when you actually start studying this or learning it or remembering it, or however that happens for you, sorry, I'm speaking fast. I'm just getting excited, and I have a lot of ideas flowing through my head right now. We'll slow it down. That's too much tempo. But it is real. Quantum physics is starting to back this shit up. And for some reason, it was throwing the three of pumpkins reversed at me. I think it was telling me to do the same thing. Like, yo, slow down, focus on that candle a little bit, and just ground yourself with your energy because you're getting a little too antsy pantsy with the talk. Make it hard for people to follow. And my mouth is dry because I'm drinking soda instead of water. But at least it's good soda. I don't know if you all like the Olipop, but I think this is one of the best sodas I've ever had. No artificial corn syrup. I'm not a huge fan of stevia, but I think it's, as far as a sugar alternative, the best tasting one. And it's not like bad; it's naturally derived. But I like the plant fiber in this and the probiotics, and it tastes like a soda. Okay, the root beer isn't as good as like an A&W. I'll give it that. But like their cream soda and their grape, the only grape soda I've ever had that's better than Olipop, or that I could at least compare to Olipop, would be a Colorado brand here that's done with like root cane sugar grown in the river. I forget. Thanks for watching me, letting me chit chat, watching me, all that. This is a not scripted or planned thing that I'm doing. Eventually, it will have a more polished approach. But right now, it's all about just. I finally realized something that I think I can do, and we're doing it now. So let's do it. Let's do it. Let's all come together and talk, and through this talk, and me hanging out and just showing you who I am and my vibe. I hope I can bring some healing or some understanding or some wish to understand to anybody. Reach out to me if you want to know more about that. That's information I will give away for free. This has to go reverse, so we're going reverse, lovers reversed. Okay, open collective. We're starting with the lovers reversed, and this is not the position I want that card inside. After this reading, I'll take the camera off the table and show you my whole setup for now. We're opening this reading. This is kind of loosey goosey, so take it for you will. But I'm trying to, again, and the intent behind this reading here specifically. So if anybody decides to watch this and not the rest, or whatever, how it resonates with you, this one's more just like a fun loosey goosey try to introduce myself to the collective. Uh, so let's see what spirit is going to say about that. It says lovers reversed for what is possible. So I think it could be a message for me too, but I'm not going to get into that. But I can relate that back to you guys if anybody else is going through the same kind of feeling. No, I'm not sure if this one's for me. Kind of similar. Something's going to come for one of you or some of you, whoever this resonates with. Um, Out of the blue, I see this vampire coming through. She looks surprised. It's reversed though, and the reverse means it's going to frighten you, but they're going to surprise you, and it's going to turn into something beautiful. The fact that it's a monster or vampire could be undead. It could also mean that like maybe somebody's showing you their other side of themselves, somebody you know already, or somebody you're already in a relationship with. Maybe they're showing you. What I get really is somebody you struggle to relate to, or somebody you struggle to deal with. They annoy you. Maybe you don't like not want to hang out with them, but you kind of think they're an asshole. And with it being reversed, and the way she's looking at the vampire with the hand on her heart, I'm thinking it's more like kind of like a Twilight situation right now with Bella. The first time she meets a vampire and all that. I don't know. I've never done the Twilight thing, but for some reason that's coming out for. I've never read the books or seen the movies. But it's like you were annoyed by their pleasant side, but then they show you their dark side, and through that you get to see the whole of them, and you are seeing that you have a possible connection. Uh, you have the dog here looking straight at her with a heart right above her, which is kind of telling me the same. Reading this like directly as the lovers, and not like the deeper meaning behind the card. This isn't the felt deck anyway, and that's what I'm getting here. I got the serpent crawling up, also realizing it, like, and the cat. Everybody's realizing the dog is telling you to follow your heart. Your hands on your heart, but you don't look scared. You look impressed, to be honest. Yeah, and so we're gonna go with that. Yep, lovers reversed for this collective. Whoever's resonating, if this doesn't resonate, pass it on. If it resonates with you in a different way, please leave in the comments or the chat while we're live. I will show you the card. I should have done that first. Like I said, I haven't really came up with a format yet. Eventually, I would like to get all these edited in to my editor so the card can just pop up on screen. Very new to this stuff. Burp. Burp up my Olipop. All right, we're going to move on to the next card. Two of Bats. So you take your spirituality very seriously, whoever this is. Whatever your spiritual beliefs may be. We have the blinded angel with two bats sitting here and a black cat and a pumpkin um, in front of a lake on a purple bench under a night sky. Yeah, you take your faith very seriously and you don't let anything shake that. But this is kind of shaking that now. And so somebody who's I'm kind of faith fluid. I say maybe loosen up a little bit with that. I don't know. I would say, or it could be the opposite. It could be that like maybe you're questioning and you need to find strength in what you believe and stay firm to that. Actually, I'm good. That's probably more clear. That's why these bats are like floating right behind her to give her that support. They're like she can't quite see them, but she knows they're there. So you can't quite see the proof of your faith, but it's telling me to stick with it, and this could be what you get from it. with the lovers reversed, it could be a very big surprise to you. Ooh, I could take a little bit of personal relationship to this with this reading as well, but it's not quite like that. Really cool. You the cat over here patting the pumpkin down. So it's like say steer free from anything that distracts you. Stay true to yourself and what you believe and what you know and what your experiences have done for you. And if you do that, then somebody might surprise you, and it might be somebody who's meant you're meant to fall in love with. Hmm. Interesting. I'm getting a love reading right off the bat. I don't usually do these. Seven of Pumpkins. Somebody who's very grounded. And maybe your spiritual beliefs are a little too grounded because the way the cat's looking at you, kind of like a spirit cat over there. Take it from somebody who has a spirit cat. Uh, saying like maybe you need to ponder on some of your more broader ideas. Don't stop doing what I said before about staying true to your faith, but see how your faith can be adapted into new ideas because you can do that with any faith. It doesn't mean you have to turn your back on any one faith. It just needs you need to understand like where the deception within that faith is because every religion has deception, some more so than others. Just very big grounded. Yeah, I'm getting grounded, but like maybe a little too grounded in the physical world. So you do have faith, and your faith is strong. Uh, so for whatever collective this is, it's like I'm getting like Catholic Christian type faith stuff like that. Got the right idea, but there's a lot of falsehoods behind that. Specifically, I believe because I communicate with them, the way they talk about Jesus. You want to talk about that more? Like I said, I'm a controversial. I'm doing this in the not standard way. I do use a Rider Waite deck, so I do use a Christian deck, a little tiny one. But my main deck is Thoth. So, and this is spooky season, so we're using spooky season deck, getting to learn how to read this with alternate stuff. Uh, Talking a lot, getting off topic here. If anybody is familiar with this deck, it is based off of the Rider Waite imagery. Now you have the Sun reversed. So you believe that you don't have what it takes to ignite that divine light within you if you turn your back on those beliefs. Oh, I'm getting some big Gemini energy here. And that's not true. That's not true at all. You don't have to stick to the rules the Bible tells you, or the Quran, or the fucking any of these books. You find what's true for you, what works for you, what allows you to live with faith and love in your heart. And love for everything, and faith in whatever it is that gives you that love. Even the stuff I do, the path I walk, that's not meant for everyone. That's my path. I can use my path to show you how it's worked for me and how it's still working for me, and how you can I can show you my light in the darkness to find your own. That's what I'm here to do. But you believe you don't deserve it. I've been there most of my life. Everybody does. Everybody has it. Everybody has a spark of the divine, or you wouldn't be here. So just be a little more loosey goosey, a little more open to ideas. You don't have to give up your religion. You don't have to turn your back on. If your idea of God is Christ, the biblical version of Christ, then that's fine. That is a version of God. I call God personally Yahweh or Source. I also like to sometimes refer to it in female as Nuit or Isis. And now we're going to go to this position of the world reversed. See, and then it'll open your eyes to a full understanding of the world. Like when you start to do this stuff, no joke, you can't really physically see it. Well, can't say that either, but you can open up an understanding to perceiving the world beyond the third dimension if you can be fully open. to the things I'm going to talk about on this stream and the things I'm kind of trying to turn people on to, whatever it is for you. It doesn't have to be through occult practices, religious practices. Many artists find their path this way through whatever it is. Expression is the key, creation is the key, being your true self unapologetically. And when you do, the world is your oyster. I just got a big message there from somebody's guide. So with the two of bats, I'm getting the Joker. Why so serious? You could be serious and faithful to your faith without being rigid. Now, on that note, I could hit on that more, but this is an open reading on a live stream. We got more work to do late. We got more talking to do, and we have the Five of Ghosts. See, you're curious about this too. And I think you should take note of that curiosity. You should trust it a little bit further. Maybe go beyond prayer and actually meditate and ask to speak to a spirit guide. Open yourself to the possibility of it being anything. Because when I met mine, I wasn't expecting who they were. Not even close. Had no idea I had those kind of connections or how that works. Now I have a whole team of spirits myself, but if somebody is questioning this, if this is how you're feeling along the conversation we're having, it's kind of a deeper faith based. This is a pretty good message actually for collective for the way I open stream and the message I'm trying to get out here. Follow that curiosity more. See the curious cat and the curious pumpkin here. Cats have 9 lives. You can get back up. Oh, man. That guy's wearing a pumpkin costume, so he's got armor. You're protected. I mean, don't just jump headfirst into it. I wouldn't recommend going the way I did. My way wasn't technically really headfirst. Once you get to know me, you would know. But I wouldn't really recommend getting into this as quickly and deeply as I have lately. Um, if this is a hard conversation for you to have, if this is something that comes to you easily, then definitely meditate on that more. Definitely always meditate on this stuff, however that works for you. Yeah, we're questioning, we're finding people who are questioning their faith or questioning if their faith is the right one. There's no right or wrong faith to have. There is no right or wrong faith to have, as long as you know it. If you accept Spirit God into you, believe your own faith, and you live with love, it doesn't really matter what you follow. You can walk by. You're not on camera. Cool. See, confirmation. All right, now we get to the real reason why I decided to use this spread right now. And the two pumpkins reversed. See, this is what I was saying about the two of bats over here. Two of pumpkins is like he's looking at the two of bats and going, "Man, you're so serious. You loosen up a little bit. Have a little bit more fun with reality." Once you start to do that, you'll realize that you can actually shape your own reality. It sounds easier than it actually is, but and now we're gonna bring it full circle to five of imps. So tell me that you have the magic. You just don't believe yourself that you do, or you don't believe that magic exists. Existence itself is magic, and that's the physical world is proof of that. So I will just say yes. It's when it comes full circle, it's saying believe in your power and light those wands. Test the waters a little bit, and don't stay true to who you are for sure. But if you follow this, it can open you up to pathways that you were never expecting with the lovers reversed. And on that note, we're going to take a break and end the first open reading of the stream. I love you, and I thank you for watching. And now we're going to put you on a little break screen. Okay, mic's back on. Sorry for the silence. I usually put music in between, but I think for this we probably will go silent on break screens because silence is very important. Also, I'm still on break for a minute because I have to catch my breath from that. When you watch this not live, you're still gonna have to sit through this. Go ahead and skip it if you wish. I'm not editing or cutting. I said it again. I'm not editing or cutting these videos until I play with my editor enough and get confident enough with it. I don't really have experience doing that. This one might be one I play with actually. And if anybody was live and watched the other episode 4 of this and wonder where it went, I deleted it and forgot to record it. So it's in the eighth there. On that note, I'm muting the mic, taking a quick break, real quick again, because I'm not sure exactly what I want to do next with the reading. And hmm, that was a good reading, but I didn't do at least the tie up ending that I like to do with my readings. So, anybody has any advice, criticism, hate comments, whatever, leave them. It's cool. Questions are fun. Anybody would like to discuss, my email is always open for that. I do offer personal readings. I offer anything up to a half hour for free. Also, half hour guarantee. If there's anything that doesn't mesh with you in the first half hour, you just ain't feeling it, you don't like me, whatever. Money get money back guarantee. Never gonna put the money as the priority. It's more of the meeting you and seeing if we can vibe. But at the same time, I am trying to leave my 9 to 5 and make this a full time thing because this is what I'm here to do. Shuffling some cards that we're going to get ready for. I might try one of my custom spreads I haven't done live. We'll see. I didn't remute the mic yet. Okay, we're going to remute the mic and I'm going to actually walk away because I got some candles over on my altar that need to be blown out. And I will be back for another reading. This one, we may do a random zodiac sign. I don't know. Let's see how we feel. All right, I am back. Candles are blown out. Fire safety's a thing, and I also don't want to waste my candles. I first started with my altar. I was burning every candle down all the way every time, and I'm like, oh, you don't need to do that. I am burning this black candle on the table all the way down because I like the way the wax is melting on the holder. Speaking of, while I take a quick vape here, think about dry throat my vape. I'll show you my little setup. Don't mind me, I can't move the camera like that. I don't have the other camera set up for that right now. So it's gonna be a little wobbly, but I'll show you my table. We have my some close spirit stones resembling my guides, myself, my birthstones, and then my cat in the middle, my cat spirit. And we have my grounding that I always have centered here, my black candle with some smoky quartz and black salt sprinkled around. And we have another spirit stone representing me and my connection to my guides. Some moonstone, some rose opal, some lavender quartz, some purple amethyst, and the purple amethyst pyramid. I really like that. And then you can see the decks that we're working with. We'll probably use this tablecloth spread for a while, but eventually the table is going to get bigger. This is just a little temporary setup. That's the thing we're working with, and you got to remind me, if anybody comes into live chat, you got to remind me to show the cards on stream as we go on the spread, because I keep forgetting to do that. Eventually, when I get more comfortable with editing, or get to a point where I can hire an editor, then I'll put all the images on screen. But there we go. Let me see if that's a good angle. Kind of. We could point it down a little bit so you can see the spread. And then knock it off the holder, guys. Sorry, I'm gonna make you dizzy. I need to get a better tripod for this thing. I need to get a better camera. Really, I should just set up my camcorder. Sorry, you're gonna see my chest for a minute. You take a look at my amulets here. This is my pendulum glass, first glass piece I got at my first FurCon. It's been anointed in moon water and blessed by one of my guides. This one is really special to me. It's a shark stone a coworker got, a shark tooth a coworker got. Just some cheesy little trinket from like an LA vendor. It has a connection to my great grandma, and it's been anointed in moonstone with her spirit. Getting a little personal, but this is a good vibe. I like this. And then this one represents one of my main guides, Moonstone, also blessed in Aries supermoon water. One of my main guides blessed by his spirit. I'll let you guess who that is. I'm not gonna let you guess. It's the Hootie. He's cool as shit. But I wonder if you can guess who my three dark protectors are. Because I didn't even see that coming. Yes, you do have dark protectors as well. Most people do. Maybe those of you who like follow purely in the light, but I am not a pure light being. I am being a light. I have a star seed. I have my star seed name is related to that, but we're not gonna get into that right now. I need to remount this camera and put it at an angle so you can actually see me. That's not really that good. Oh, I can't tilt that back without it falling off. How's that? It's kind of loose, but it's not gonna fall off the table. There we go. That's better. I'm a little crooked. All right. Next time people want to see my setup, I'll just hook up a second camera. That would be a lot easier. Don't mind me vaping. Like I said, I bring a little bit of raunchiness to this. Probably never gonna change. I will wear more classy outfits. This just felt like right today. Just didn't really feel like changing. King of the Hill hoodie's cool. So I have some soda real quick. Uh, Anybody getting into this, I will warn you right now. Opening, even with the grounding salts and stuff, open energy readings are very tiring. So you will feel worn out when you do it. There's other warnings I could give you, but I'm not here to teach tarot. I'm not. That's not my thing. If you want to learn tarot, I suggest going to Joe Monteleone's YouTube page at Joe Monteleone or mysticacademy.com. Excellent place to start. Even if you don't take one of his courses, his free information is more than you're going to get from probably any other teacher for free. where do we want to go next? I think we're gonna have a little fun with some oracle cards for now, collective. Let's ask some questions. Let's ask 4 questions of the higher self. We're not asking my higher self. We're asking the higher self of the collective. Somebody has messages. I'm getting all kinds of messages. Hang on a second. I'm also getting messages for the collective. The first card we're gonna have is it says growing, but also falling apart. But you have to shed your leaves to grow stronger and bigger. And we're in that season here where I am at. We're in that season of change for the trees. Again, if you're a dark soul, that's kind of what it feels like when you're going through the shadow work. As somebody whose life has mostly been shadow work, it's kind of not becoming that now, but I still, we all still do it. You're never gonna not have to do that. It's really important to remember that that's why the shadow work is there. That's why we have deities on that side. Um, you can call them demons. You can call them fallen angels. I like to call them angels. I use demons a lot because it's easy to relate to. But what you've been taught to believe as demons are not what they actually are. They are very, very cool beings, actually. And if you don't believe me, keep watching my stuff, and you'll see what I mean eventually. And if you don't, I guess that's a you problem. I could read it. Yeah, I think I will. I think I will read the before I read this next card. Read the full definition out of the Oracle book. I see a lot of readers do this. I don't typically do it. Um, but like I said, we're just getting a feel for things. See what clicks, what doesn't, before we polish this into rehearsed actual YouTube videos, which eventually we'll do. And I offer personal readings. I can make personal charms, talismans. I've made all of these are enchanted by me. I've made this stone myself here. I'm gonna get into wand making and stuff like that too. So for 57, the full message behind 57, which is probably just gonna reiterate what I just said, but this guy does have a little bit profound writing, and like I said, this isn't really coming from him. This is coming from the higher self of the collector. So whoever this resonates with, this is coming from a part of you that exists on your best timeline. There is no new without shedding the old. What can you weed from your garden to allow something new to grow? Exactly what I was saying. And that's exactly what this autumn season is really all about here. And then you can get the fruits of your spring and your summer and refresh for the next. So your plants and crops can keep growing stronger and bigger yields every year, hopefully. You know, I've worked in agriculture. I know that that can be a hit or miss. And then we have 62. Just make a decision already. And these are questions that I'm not asking any questions for. The spread is just 4 questions to the inner self, higher self, um, and resonate with that however you wish. And if it doesn't, pass this along to somebody maybe who you think it might. So just make a decision already, so the story can move forward. So if you're stuck or you don't know what to do, just decide. It's either gonna hurt you or it's not, but you're gonna get the lesson you need either way. Um, it's somebody I've struggled with too. There's really no such thing as a bad decision. You have bad outcomes. It could be the decision that wasn't right for you. Uh, but if you weather the storm and get through it, you'll understand that. I used to make fun of hindsight, like Captain Hindsight in South Park. I used to think it was like one of the most useless like parts of the human psyche. And it's very opposite of that actually. Hindsight is almost basically a fucking superpower if you know how to use it, and it will unlock. It will unlock. It's the key that unlocks the door to understanding your own abilities with it. We'll put it that way. Or call it psychic, intuitive, whatever. It's not like Harry Potter. It's not like some people were born with magical gifts and then there's muggles who just have no connection at all. That's not a thing. Because you exist, you are a magical being. You do have access, you do have abilities, you do have powers. these decisions and understanding them, especially being able to reflect on them, good and bad, are a big way of understanding that within yourself. And this is something that I've been going through the last couple months really deeply. And this is how it's opened up to me. This is why people who know me have never seen me do this kind of stuff before. It's always been a part of my curiosity, a part of my thing. I've always been into this culture. I've never taken it 100% seriously until I started ghost hunting. And the ideas I've wanted to bring to ghost hunting are ideas that you're never going to see. You've not seen a ghost hunter do what we're going to do outside of maybe Ed and Lorraine Warren, but we're not gonna be biased and out for money, and we're not gonna make. I'm not gonna paint fucking dark deities to look like fucking the way the Christian Bible paints them because that's not what they are. So sorry, get a little heavy on that one. A little sidetracked on my own thing there. See, this deck has a very connection to my higher self, and I'm getting really connected to my higher self. So personal stuff might come through. Again, back of the card. So think about the question for this one. While I read the definition for what we just talked about, let's see if it hints on anything that I was going on, or if I just read that way wrong. Stalling doesn't buy you more time. It only wastes the limited time you are given. I'm going to branch on that. Time is just a 3D concept. Your brain can think in dimensions beyond that if you give it a chance. Aren't you curious what happens next? See? And the question reaffirms that. And having a little bit of curiosity. If you know tarot a little bit, be more like the fool. Especially if you're resonating with me. Let things move at a flowing pace instead of forcing yourself to hit the brakes all the time. This is the hardest one. That's a hard lesson. You're never going to really fully get that one, but once you really know how to just flow, we're always just flowing through experiences in life. You will flow through it. There is a way out. And if you allow yourself to experience it and view it not from the physical restraints or mental restraints that you've been raised to believe that you understand, but from your own deeper knowing and understanding, whatever that is for you, then you will start to see levels to the world that you didn't know were there. You'll start to see things in yourself that you didn't know you had or you didn't think you deserved. Especially for those of who resonate with the deserved thing. My dark chosen ones. Choose wisely. Then stop choosing. Speaking of dark chosen ones, anybody watch Sam and Colby? Reach out to Sam. I have some things I would like to actually tell him. Nothing to do with the channel, but something to do that would make his channel better if he took his spirituality more serious. Good. Just been looking at screens a lot, and that goes with what I opened with the song message, and we're gonna get back into those lyrics because it's just coming through. Maybe even Maynard's guy is fucking speaking to me right now, saying, time to put the silicon obsession down. If you're watching me on a phone, go ahead and put me down right now. Take a look around. Find a way in the sky. Just turn the screen off, set it down. And if you're watching me and you're not doing that, thank you for doing that. But this is a weird medium to do this because I'm kind of contradicting myself here. I am a walking contradiction after all. I'm gonna read that out to you because I just sung the lyrics again a little bit, so hopefully that doesn't really. We'll see in a couple days how that worked out. If this video doesn't get posted, you'll know why. Yeah, you may need to take a break from computers. Go find a tree to be friends with. There's one at my work that I've befriended. I know that sounded very hippie, tree huggery, but I mean, kind of is. Besides, think of how fun it'll be to return to the screen once you've had time to rebuild your tolerance. I'm not saying you have to give up technology, but where we're at with it now, it's become like, go out and take a hike. Go have a little experience without the screen. Go to that ball game without fucking having to film it and post it. Whatever it is you enjoy. You don't have to fucking vlog all of your experiences. In fact, I think people do that way too much. You know, like 24-hour streamers. So just like, yeah, that's they make their money that way. But like, what does that do to your personal image when you're just fucking on camera all the time and you have to fucking please your chat, or you think you have to please your chat? Also, chat, I'm not gonna be doing your little bullshit. Somebody comes in here with some edgy fucking troll, fucking do this, do that type shit. I meant talk about it and make fun of it. And if it's something I feel like doing, I'll do. But you know, I'm also a grown ass man, and I respect myself, and I have my own boundaries. And you could chit chat all the bullshit you want. Eventually, I'll get mods, and we'll get this going controlled if it gets out of control. I'm also one who's not really afraid of bad language and bad jokes and stuff, as long as it's tasteful. So you know, this is giving me a little message on myself too. A higher self was telling me, hey, set some ground rules before you have an active chat. So my ground rules are pretty open. There are some things that are no goes, but you'll know as we go what that is. And if you're watching me live, you can't just come in here and be like, oh, blah, blah, blah. Oh, you're evil. Jesus says you're evil. Jesus is fucking laughing at you right now. Like, straight up. Hands on his fucking stomach. You think I'm crazy? You should hang out with Jesus sometime. That motherfucker has a twisted sense of humor. Here's the thing to remember, too. Jesus was not a Christian. He was a spiritualist. If anything, he was probably more related to fucking Kabbalah than any other religion. Extremely slow, long-term growth. See, I feel like I've done this stuff really quickly all of a sudden, getting like a crash, like fucking college level course and learning how to do magic and stuff. But this card's reinforcing my story. This has been a lifelong process for me. And I'm only just starting to like really understand what I can do. Again, with my ghost hunting, you're going to see me do some things that you've never seen a ghost hunter do before. You've never seen a psychic on a ghost hunting channel do what I'm going to do. And my partner. This is a little teaser though, because we haven't really got enough good footage to show yet. I've got a lot of good stuff, but it's been nothing I can make an entertaining video out of and to bring my ideas to the table so you understand that. So this is asking your higher question. Oh, your higher self questions, and I forgot about this. You're getting sidetracked again because I look at his cards and this other deck is telling me I gotta do something with it. If you like my style, it's cool. If you don't, I won't always be this vibey and talkative. Sometimes I'll be up, sometimes I'll be down. I just flow. This is Friday after my 9 to 5 grind, so I'm trying to flow. Going to No Kings tomorrow, trying to spread some positive vibes. I'm not trying to be political one way or the other. I have my beliefs, but I also understand what's going on in the physical world. And as an American, I do believe I should at least be present for it and spread my vibration any way I can. Everybody stay safe if you're doing that. I don't care if you're MAGA going to fight the protesters or what you believe Antifa is, because Antifa isn't a thing. But if you're right or left and you're going to do whatever it is you're going to go do, be safe, be responsible, be logical. Don't be a fucking hater. Unless you're MAGA, I guess, because I guess that's your thing. Don't be a judgmental fucking evangelicist. We're talking about religion. I think evangelical shit's like the worst way to practice religion. I said there's no right or wrong way. Okay, there is. Don't be an evangelicist. Don't be a Pentecostal. Plenty of Pentecostals have found the light, but it's a very dangerous fucking thing they mess with that religion, and they don't know what they're doing. Take it from somebody who is under a fetus. So, onto the card that I should have said before all that, but are you cultivating fleeting happiness? Is your manifestation really going to make you happy? Good question. Or deeply rooted in eternal bliss? Ooh. No one has ever regretted making the long term play. Play for the long term. That's what we're doing right here. This isn't always going to be the way I do this. This is just me getting started. I can't tell everybody I'm going to do a YouTube channel. I'm going to do all this. I can't, talk about it. You could talk about it. You could get yourself psyched up, but eventually you got to be about it. This is me trying to be about it or develop the best version of me being that. Because it's very young and, you know, this calling came to me out of nowhere. And this isn't, my calling isn't to read tarot. Reading tarot is something I will always do because it's fun. First of all, I'd say that's the first most foremost rule about tarot. Don't take it so seriously. Yes, you can use it for serious work, but at the end of the day, this is supposed to be fun. Life is supposed to be fun. So I would have never thought I would do this, but my ultimate calling here is spiritual alchemy and healing. So I'm hoping if you watch this, it sparks with you. I don't care if you watch the whole video, if you just saw part of it. Maybe I should clip this stuff and put more of it out there. I'll probably start doing that. You know, I'm learning how to work the algorithm. I'm very, very, very amateuristic with this, even though I've watched YouTube for over fucking 15 years. Um, but I've never delved into something like this. I never thought this would be like my thing. I never really knew what my thing would be. I always knew I had something. And now I know what it is. So, if that resonates with anybody and you want to feel some of my chakras or unleash your own, hit me up. I will give you like a $3 chakra bracelet, a little hippie trinket. But my stuff will look like hippie trinkets because I'm learning how to make it out of basic kits. Um, it's never going to be intended that way. I will never sell a stone or a jewelry or an item like that without having spiritual intent into it. So if you request a piece of custom made jewelry or an item like that from me or a stone or something like that, it will be enchanted. I don't just sell it for looks. That's just getting started with stuff like that. I got a lot of ideas, but I don't know exactly what I want to bring to the table here with all of them. And that's a little bit more about me. So, on that note, let us do this. I'm probably gonna start doing this as shorts on TikToks. Just giving you these open readings are to the collective. Again, this is timeless and this is open. Take what resonates and throw the rest in the fucking trash and burn it, or don't. However you dispose of stuff is recycle. I would say. Um, but this is an idea I'm bringing. Probably I was gonna do this on YouTube Shorts, but I think I'm gonna do it on TikTok instead, since I need to probably put my name on TikTok. I mean, it's already there, but it's never been made. I've made like 2 videos about the weed industry. That's what I work in, by the way. I work in legal cannabis. Trying to work my way out of it, actually. Not saying don't get into it. It's not a bad industry to work in. It's just I'm sick of doing. I'm sick of being somebody else's fucking. I'm sick of using my energy to earn somebody else's income and get a share of that from them. I'm trying to use my energy to create the reality that I deserve. You can do this too, and that's what spiritual healing is. And if you're watching me, this is what we're here to do together. Take this. This is a question from the Memento Mori. Ask whatever question you wish. This is the answer that death is giving you. I'm not going to explain the card. I'm not even going to look. And this is what I'm going to do on TikTok. I'm going to do little shorts like this. This is going to be Ask Death question of the day. What is death telling you? The message is going to be about appreciating your life, but maybe also appreciating what death is. We shouldn't fear her. Death is the greatest gift you can be given that isn't life. So let me know if you think it's a cool idea to bring to TikTok. If that would work or not. I'm gonna do a couple, see how it hits. I'm not giving you an explanation on that card. That is for you, the viewer, to understand and ask that. I'm not giving you a question either. I'm just saying let's ask that the question, and then see the card. And I'm not gonna look at the card. That's not for me to know. That's for you. On that note, we're hitting a lot of random energies tonight, so I think I'm gonna take another break real quick, and then we'll come back and we will do a random roll of a 12-sided dice to see which zodiac sign we're gonna open read for. So, please chill and enjoy the silence of the break because I'm not putting on break music. I kind of like the idea of using silence instead. And you might see my empty chair. I don't know. and some music upstairs that hopefully isn't overpowering. You can probably hear it, like the bass. Okay, mic's back. Forget the music. If there's any loud noises or anything, I don't. Or if the stream ends suddenly. Again, we're not in my manifested studio yet, so there's some outside influences that could affect the stream. We're not gonna let them disrupt us. And sorry, my hand was in your way. I was fixing something on the camera that was bugging me. We're gonna a little chit chat again before I start another session with the cards. Because it's a vlog, it's not just reading. So how's it going? Anybody in the chat? I'm not even sure if I don't have the chat overlay. So if anybody's been chatting, I haven't seen it. Sorry, I didn't have the chat brought up. Let me go ahead and do that real quick, like. That's something I forgot to do is change my chat overlay over from Twitch. I can access this, right? Okay, let's do it this way. Let me go ahead and do that real quick, like. Just go ahead and pause the volume on that. Or something like that. And then chat should work. I'm still not seeing chat popping up, huh? Maybe you don't get a chat when you're at my level, which would be lame. Wait a second. Oh yeah, maybe it is something I have to unlock on YouTube. That's dumb. That's something I forgot to do is change my chat overlay over from Twitch. So I guess there is no way you can chat with me live, I guess, because for some reason I can't. Hang on, I'm gonna look that up. I'm confused. I thought it was like Twitch or every other thing. Go ahead and do that chat real quick. Like, just go ahead and pause the volume on that, or something like that. And that's dumb. We'll catch up to my live, but turn the sound off so it doesn't mess with that. Oh, I don't know if the sound overlay is coming through on your end too. Let me know if it is. Let's see. We're just hanging out chatting right now. I gave you some of my mystical ideas earlier. My brain and ideas are slowing down. I got some energies drawing me down. We're not gonna worry about that. We're probably gonna do a cleansing. Oh, I might not have it enabled. Oh, this might be a big thing that I messed up on. Another fun reason why it's fun to post this stuff raw. I don't like watching myself move on the camera without the. That's weird. All right, we gotta fix something here. I don't know exactly what I gotta do. Is it in studio mode? Let's see if it's in studio mode. I'm still learning my way around all this. I've never tried to create stuff on YouTube until like a week ago or so. Yeah, I'm hitting my stuff off. Crazy. Don't judge me. I don't judge you. Don't judge me. Uh, Customization. Uh, uh, do I not have an access to it? Everybody should have a chat. Maybe it's not in this right here. Yeah, I can't see the chat and I don't know how to fix it. Oh, it's probably that. Hang on a second. It's probably that. Fuck you, YouTube. Straight up, fuck you and your fucking ad block restrictions. You can suck a fat fucking dick. And that's offensive and obscene, but I mean they can. I'll take your money still. I'll take your ad deals, but fuck you, guys. If you could think of a better place we could do this, that would still give you a good audience. Be my guest. I ain't going to kick, and Rumble's dumb. So we gotta put up with this bullshit. We gotta pause while I'm on a live stream at least. Let's see if that changes anything. I don't know if that changes anything. Where would I find this at? Is this wrong? I'm so confused. Hang on a second, guys. We gotta exit YouTube Studio. Sure. This is the fun part of the live stream. You get to watch me struggle with this stuff. My weird camera angle because I don't have both cameras set up right now. Is it in regular settings then? Advanced settings. I'm very confused. Hmm. That's not right. Hang on, let's see if we can find a step by step here. No reason we didn't. No, that's not helping me either. Can you troubleshoot for me? Alright, well, I don't know if we're gonna keep looking this up right now because it's just leading me in a circle. My extension shouldn't be blocking this. That's not right. So it's got to be in studio. Let's try doing this too. Probably don't really need this, but we should. Let's do it anyway. That's not what to do. Clear that out real quick. I don't really want to do that. Budget. My cache is too full. We gotta clear that shit out. We got to make room for what's coming in, right? Let's see if that changes anything. Hang on. Since I just did all that, we're gonna have to re-log in to YouTube. So if that ended the stream, I'm sorry. I remember that. Oh, I know. That's wrong. That's this one. No. What the heck? Why can't you give me an alternate way to do this? Alright. I didn't do it. Oh, okay. Uh huh. I don't know what you're doing. Probably would just leave it at that too. I don't think I'm gonna come back to live. That. Because you choose to allow yourself to vibrate that way. That's the reason why you have these problems. The outside world is gonna do what the outside world does, dude. There's nothing you can do about that. Well, there is something you can do about that, but you can't do anything about that until you change yourself first. And allowing yourself to let those emotions overcome you like that. Huh? Huh? I should have made a different one. I guess I thought I was doing a new one. That's fine. Everybody hacks me to change it. It's not like I'm making money or anything, so. Alright, how do I fix this? There's gotta be a setting in it that I'm not doing right. Channel? Publish? View channel? What? It's not right. Are we still live? Is it still going, even though I signed out? Let's see. If we're still going, that's fine. It's not right. Let's see if we're still going. Are we still live? Is it still going? Even though I still going. Out? Hey, we've been live this whole time. I thought it signed us out and cut it off. It did. If we're still going, that's fine. Cool. So we'll do a little bit of chit chatting. I was thinking about doing another reading. I'm getting kind of tired from the energies. Let's see what's going on. Let's see if we're still going. Are we still live? Yeah, we're gonna do this. Even though I still going. Hey, we've been live this whole time. I don't have access to the chat right now. Now I have access. If we're still going, that's fine. Cool. It's just a browser issue. Guess I did just need to clear my cache. Well, now I have the chat. Ain't nobody in the chat. If you were in the chat and you left, sorry. I really do want to do a draw with these, but let me see what I want to do real quick. We're going to do one more open reading for collective. We are going to do a daily reading, just a daily reflection on the day. Since it's evening for me, if it's morning for you, reflect on what the day might bring. So we are going to use the Halloween tarot again. Oh, actually, we're going to combine a couple. We're going to use Halloween tarot. Okay, we're going to do one of each. We're going to do one Halloween, one Thoth, and then one tiny universal weight. So, for our first one, if this doesn't get interrupted, be like the fool, but reversed. So, don't be a little more calculated with the fool. The fool is always calculated with his steps, but he's a little carefree. You know, he goes into every situation with a wondrous curiosity. So, you know, remember the phrase curiosity killed the cat? Just be discerning of what it is you're opening yourself up to. Collective, whoever this resonates with. I was gonna do a zodiac sign. We're not doing that reading now because I don't have the energy to do a specific zodiac. We do have the zodiac signs here. We have love. We have, I see a Sagittarius here. I'm a Sagittarius. Again, that's the message I'm getting here. This is going to be a quick reading. We're not going to go super deep into each card. I was going to do the Thoth next, but my hand went to the writer, so that's what we're doing. We're not shuffling the deck. We're just going to draw one randomly out of the box. Whatever one. Well, okay, never mind. I can't do that. The box is too tiny for me to make that work. I can't feel the energies properly. So, tiny Rider weight. How are you going to relate to this? How are we going to relate to this tiny Rider weight? Let me see if I'm doing this right too. Okay, that's what I thought. I'm using a spread I've never done before, so we're just trying it. A little quick end of the day spread, end of the stream spread, whatever you want to call it. Both for me. And we're gonna flip this one. We have temperance. Again, it's just reinforcing that the fool reversed there with what I was saying, and this, you can take this for how you mean because this isn't exactly what the fool always represents. This is just what I'm seeing here right now with this reading. And it's saying, yes, you need to ground yourself in temperance. Definitely ground yourself. Burn a black candle, use some black salt, whatever that is for you. Do a prayer. I also do like a Kabbalistic, shamanistic type ritual with you can use a straw broom. I use a little Halloween purple prop broom for myself. I also do a lot of clearing. You could use I would recommend the banishing of the lesser banishing of the pentagram works really well. It might work too well, depending. But ground yourself is what I say. Ground yourself and make sure that you keep your temperance even. Don't let the outside world influence you in a way. Like feel your emotions for sure, but don't let them control the way you react to the situations around you fully. You know, you can have that reaction, you can have that anger, you can have that frustration, you can have that moment, uh, but don't become that emotion, you know, because that's how you ruin your day. That's how you ruin the day for those around you. And then you have the shitty. Why did this happen? Now I have to look back and reflect. Well, you can avoid that by understanding the emotion more. Something I'm working with a lot myself. And if you can hear the outside stuff around me right now, we're kind of going through that. But again, this is a flow situation, and I ain't gonna be here forever. So put it that way. Like I said, this is a temporary setup here, and we will have something bigger and better in the future because I am manifesting that. And you can witness manifestation in action by watching my channel. Hopefully, I can spark some manifestations of your own. That's the whole goal here. However, that resonates with you. I said I'm a little raw, a little dirty, a little raunchy. That's probably never going to change. That's just who I am. I am a dark chosen one, and I do embrace my dark side. And I'm not like some evil, like bloodthirsty, like that's when you hear Dark Chosen One, that's what you think. That's not what it is. Those of us who are, I don't really like the term chosen one either. It's kind of arrogant, but and we're gonna have luxury as the final card for well, not the final card. We got one more we're gonna draw, but it's not gonna be a Thoth. It's not gonna be a tarot. This is a experiment I'm doing. We're mixing three different draw a single draw from three different decks. So we're mixing the Halloween with the Rider Waite. We got the Halloween, the Fool. You already heard me talk about that. And then how the Temperance is going to work with that. If you're familiar with Rider Waite, this is basically just that tiny. I think they're cool. Interesting to work with and not really professional, but I mean, I'm using them. And that's all that matters. And then we have our Thoth luxury. I love the artwork of the Thoth deck, but Tahuti is my boy, so him and I have that understanding. A very deep understanding. And if you know, you know. If you resonate with pyramid or Egyptian symbols, or if any of your guides happen to be Egyptians or Egyptian gods, you know. And if any of you resonate with those Horus, Osiris, Isis, you get it. You know, we're family. And yeah, the solution here is luxury. Like, allow yourself to be open to the abundance that you deserve. Don't see yourself off. If you approach the world too curious, it might be a little dangerous. But I always have that bit of a fool approach. The fool is one of my favorite tarot cards of the major arcana. Um, I resonate with the fool really hard. If you do too, hit a like in there and tell me why. A big luxury. We have big Gemini energy here. Again, big Gemini energy. I'm also getting Cancer for some reason, even though Cancer really isn't in this card. But the Four of Cups, I say luxury. I was reading it like a major arcana. I'm sorry. I get a little lost with the Thoth deck. I read the Thoth deck differently. I read it the way I read it. So this is the Four of Cups. We have the Four of Cups energy, resonating with the Fool reversed. So, take the approach of the Fool for sure, but use that temperance to guide yourself in a manner that the Fool, be a little discerning of your own curiosity, so to say. Not to say don't be curious, um, but be discerning where that curiosity might lead you. Have the understanding of the temperance and this holy angel here. Allow your angels to guide. Maybe that's what I'm saying too. Loosen up, have a little bit of faith to allow your angels or your higher self or your spirit team to know what's best for you. They do have your back. Trust me, they do. Show them some gratitude too. I always try to give thanks to my guides every day and everything I do. Sometimes I forget to do that, but I try to remind myself. I've got a lot, and you do too. We've all got a lot of things working behind the scenes for us, for our higher good. All of us do. I don't care what path you walk. I don't care what you've done. I don't care who you are. And yes, I could say that for some of the worst. And their souls actually make a pretty deep sacrifice to bring what they bring to reality and spirituality together. That's deep. That's deep, and we're gonna just leave that for food for thought. If you would like to discuss that further, I have an open email. I'm always free to chat. If you would like to just take this to an open reading, we can discuss how that you want to set that up. I'm very amateuristic, so but I do know what I'm talking about here, and I have enough experience to I can do this. So if you like what I do, or if you question what I do, or you just want to test me, let's try it out. First 30 minutes always free. As Miss Cleo said, call me now for your free reading. Well, I put you on hold for an hour and then charge you for your reading because your reading was on hold. Don't sue me, Cleo Estate, but I'm going to steal that catchphrase. I've been wanting to use that my whole life. All right, and on the last note, we put the Rider Waite card away because they're tiny and I don't want to lose them. But we'll leave the rest of the image here. Let's see. This is something I didn't do with the other reads and something I need to remember because we're going to do this with every read. We're going to end every read with the insight from death. What does death have to weigh in on this? Feed the future. Follow that path of the fool, but stay true to your temperance and stay grounded and stay guided, and it will lead you to the path of luxury. And another message I'm getting from death is enjoy the process, not just the outcome, and not just what brought you from A to B, but everything in between. It's like one of my favorite book series over here. Get the big one, Journey Before Destination. That resonates with you. You know what's up. You know what's up. Light radiance. Radiant Knights, whatever order you happen to identify with the Knights Radiant. Most people would say Windrunner. I mean, Kaladin's one of my favorite characters. I would not identify as a Windrunner. Personally, I would be a Truth Seeker, maybe an Edge Dancer. Let me know what you are, or what you resonate with in the Knights Radiant. What kind of spren you have. And on that note, if you don't know what I'm talking about, go read yourself some Brandon Sanderson. Great author. I do not recommend starting with the Wheel of Time, though. I read the Wheel of Time before I knew who Brandon Sanderson was, and after Robert Jordan died, that's how I got my introduction to him. And then the rest is history. I've read like almost every single thing in the Cosmere. And you don't see it here, but I had this really cool hardback copy of the first 5 books. The first arc, the first era of the Stormlight Archives. In my opinion, the best fantasy epic ever written. Better than Lord of the Rings, yes, I said it. Better than Wheel of Time, yes, I said it. Far better than A Song of Fire and Ice, yes, I said it. I know a lot of people didn't like Rhythm of War or the last book. I'm only about halfway through the last book still. I like it. And Rhythm of War is my favorite book in the series. So, all that note, fam, thanks for watching. I love you all. And if you're not familiar with Brandon Sanderson, go introduce yourself to some good ass fantasy. I don't recommend starting with Stormlight. I would start with Mistborn or even Elantris would be a good spot because it's a standalone novel. But if you want to delve balls deep into the Cosmere and you just want chaos right off the bat, go with Stormlight. You're going to be very confused if you're trying to bring the whole Cosmere together, though, and understand the subplots and things that are going on that you don't really need to understand to know the story. But if you know what's going on with like Hoyd and like, the people who were there at the beginning, the shattering of Aiden Alcium himself, it just makes it really cool. And I understand that's also a marketing ploy that Sanderson uses, but it just shows off his creativity as a master storyteller, and I fucking love it. You could put the wokeness in it aside or whatever. I don't look at his fantasy like that. In fact, I really respect the fact that he hit on mental illness and schizophrenia and multiple personality disorder in the way he did. I've never seen a fantasy author take those modern approaches to that concept and apply it to their fantasy world in the way that he does, and their magical system because it affects how Shallan uses her magic. Shallan is one of my favorite fantasy characters ever. So yeah, Shallan, Adolin Khalin, and fucking Kaladin probably my top 3 favorite. I do like Dalinar quite a lot too. What do you guys think? What are your favorite characters in not just the Cosmere or the Stormlight, but any fantasy? I mean, I also have to I give my shout outs to the OG 3 from the Wheel of Time, Rand. We all know Rand, the Dragon Reborn. Yes. And then Perrin, my second favorite, Perrin. Love Perrin's story. They fucked him up in the fucking show. They absolutely did him dirty. And then my favorite character, Matt Cawthon, the motherfucking Prince of Ravens. We're gonna end on that. End on that. You get a little taste of what I like in my fantasy novels. I think we will give you a good night song. Let's go with. I didn't upload his new finished version yet, so I can't share that with you. I'm gonna pick a song for us to end on, and then we're gonna end on that. It'll be something that won't get a copyright strike. Don't worry. Mm, this is the song I wanted to share with you, but this is an unfinished version of it. The next time you hear this song, there will be not only the finished version, but a link to this artist and my personal friend's complete, publication of stuff he has. This is Winter City Vibing from my friend, the dragon, also sometimes an alpaca, Jacob.